Hello, hi. So guys, I've been invited onto a sort of show, if you call it a show, called Play a Game. Play a Game on YouTube. The Lore Keeper Show is the name of the channel with the host Trevor. And I am invited to do like a one-on-one one-shot, if you will. So I don't often get to play as a player, let's be real. The few times I do, those are more private games, barring the Fandelver game, which is streamed here. So this will be for someone else. This is someone else's channel. And so I thought, hey, what better than to try and build a character? Because my thought process is vastly different. So let's go to D&D Beyond and let's take a wee look and see what's good, shall we? So, if you believe it or not, I'm taking some time out of making some maps. Currently doing Death House right now, and it is taking me. Well, it's taking me a while. Let's look at it that way. That underground confused me, but this is my little mental refresh. So, we're gonna take a look at some of my older characters for other games. There were some here whose names I had to remove. I got Floppycock here, Randall Cobalt, Joshan, Tariq, Corlin, which was used in a particular Lich Queen's beloved game a few years ago. Ushia. Most of these characters are dead. Let's just. Most of these characters are dead, and you also notice that they're either fighters or rangers. So, let's not be a fighter and not be a ranger. Let's start building, shall we say. Let's turn off partnered content and let's turn off homebrew. We'll throw these on just out of force of habit, not that it matters. Allow feats, multi-classing, and we'll do public because I just said this to the guy. So I played wizard. I played warlock a few times. Ranger for certain. Fighter, yeah. I'm actually a cleric, man, believe it or not. Most of these characters are dead, and you also notice that they're either fighters or rangers. So, I'm already playing a barbarian. Barbarian's pretty simple. So I'm not gonna touch that. Bard doesn't seem like it could be good here. It's not the one. Druid could be funny. Like if Nige Druid is anything to go by, then it could be funny.
He is going to wild shape into a tiger.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yep.
For some reason, yep.
The transformation just fucking kills me the way it be. It's PowerPoint presentation looking ass.
Why the fuck is there a tiger?
Pat him on the head.
But at that higher level, like I like the idea of having spells. I do. The idea of having spells is really good. But also the idea of having a really low AC and a ton of concentration, not the best. Wizard, not touching that. Sorcerer, no. Let's try Monk. I put a Monk in a Curse of Strahd game, funnily enough, quite a while ago. Did not go well. R.I.P. Thetsu, up there with the greats. We've been told level 13. So, yeah. Core Monk traits, we're going to be high in dex, so I am going to take some dexterity-based stuff. I'm not a min-maxy person, however, for the purpose of potential grapples and also trying to sneak up for like a surprise round or such, I feel it's going to be useful. It is a one-shot, so hopefully, fingers crossed. Now, I took a look. Monks get a lot, guys. Like, you get something at almost every level. It's crazy, which is good. So, let's maybe try and figure out our monk. Yep. Alright, so I feel the best place to start is going to be the player's handbook, because, I mean, it's there. It's the simplest and quickest. Let's look at our subclasses, because I know what we're getting. So, like I said, I like the idea of having some additional healing, but also some additional damage. Warrior of Mercy is certainly giving that. Hand of Harm, deal that extra damage, and because we're going to be level 13, we will also have Flurry of Healing and Harm. However, I don't know if I'm going to have to punch myself for that one there. I get where it might be going with this one, but... Warrior of Shadow, what are these guys? Shadow Step, bonus action to teleport. Damn, that's a really powerful Misty Step. Oh, this is Shadowfell based. Damn, I love the Shadowfell. Let's see. Improve Shadow Step, withdraw and Shadowfell connection to power teleportation. Warrior of the Elements. Here we go. So, reach, unarmed strike is 10 foot greater than normal. Okay, that gives me some range. However, I am also, what I'm aware, I'm dealing with a spellcaster. I want to be stopping the spellcaster from casting spells. or I want to make it as hard as possible. So being within 5 foot is going to be good. At the same time though, if I can't make it in that first round, having that additional reach could be useful. Whenever you hit with your unarmed strike, you can deal acid, lightning, thunder damage, normal type. When you deal one of these damage, you can also force a target make a strength saving throw or move up to 10 foot towards or away from you. That's good. It is, however, very similar to the Fizzban's monk. So yeah, here it is here. We have the Ascended Dragon under the Draconic Disciple. Draconic Strike, when you damage, you can basically deal all the damages there, really. I think maybe there's some differentials, but not too much. Yeah, like poison. Like, what does elements give me that aspect to the dragon? Yeah, that doesn't. Like, what do these two differ? Let's take a little look and see. The way of the 4 elements give me the elementalism spell. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for that flavor. Okay, so here's one thing that I was looking for, and it is here. Level 6 Elemental Burst. You use 2 focus points, and you basically do a fireball of any elemental damage. You just make a dex save, take hazard. It is basically a fireball equal to 3 rolls of your martial art die, however. So it's a weaker fireball for certain, or thunderball, but it's still there. And level 11 is also going to give me flying and swimming speed. It's got uses, but I think as a monk, that's kind of pointless being able to, like, in combat at least. Sure, for exploration, yeah, but this is definitely going to be a bit more combat focused, I feel. So, whereas instead, I have here Breath of the Dragon. Epic cone or a 30-foot line, and they take damage of 2 martial art die roll. However, at level 11 it becomes 3, so I'm getting the same. I'm just not getting that, extended 120. Instead, I've got to be close enough. But it is, I see myself being close enough. Now again, similar to level 11, level 6 Wings Unfurled. When I take the Step of the Wind, I gain a fly speed until the end. Again, I don't really see the point in a fly speed here. If I was trying to get away from something, sure, Step of the Wind, fly away, but it isn't quite up there. Now, the aspect of the worm, level 11, that gives me resistance, which could be good, but again, if it's like a warlock, I'm expecting Eldritch Blast. Force is not a damage type that is mentioned here, but the Frightful Presence is, and technically speaking, it repeats at the end of the throw, ending the effect on it. So, it is essentially, on here, if I activate an aura, I can go ahead and just give someone the Frightened condition, which is good if the creature does so happen to have legendaries. We are burning legendaries, potentially. We are basically giving it disadvantage, so it's already a strong contender. And it is also my favourite subclass, but...
Hey guys, Matthew here in the future. It's 4:30 in the morning. We went with Ascended Dragon. It's just the better one. It is, and there's no bleed over, so yeah, enjoy.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead, subclass. It's going to take 35 business days. And we are going to go ahead and take Fizzban's Ascendant Dragon. So, my disciple, get my language. Now, the language has to be Draconic, because the book says you get Draconic. But D&D Beyond, ladies and gentlemen, D&D Beyond lets you pick the language. So, we've got all of these, and we're getting 3 potential ASIs. So, there's no optional features that I need to be aware of. So let's go into our background first and foremost. Now, I do have the new books with their backgrounds. So I'm going to take a look now and see, because some of these could be very useful. Others not so much. And we do also have the Astarians ones as well. So let me peruse my options, and I'll tell you why I picked the one I pick at the end. So I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and change my background on this one to a Flaming Fist mercenary. It's not to do with the tough feat. It's more so to do with how I got into D&D. When I first ever heard of Dungeons and Dragons, it was on PS2 at my friend's house, and it was he says it was Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, but I genuinely do not know. All I know is we started a new game, we walked into a cave and got our asses handed to us by a beholder, and that was as far as we could get. So if that rings a bell to anybody, let me know, because I want to know what that game is. I want to buy it. I want to replay some of my early childhood games. But yeah, I've also checked, and we will be rolling our stats. So let's go ahead and roll our stats right now. Let's just use this one here. I believe it has a roller. So let's see. Okay, nice. Okay, right. 14 into our dex. Wisdom, Con, Strength, Charisma, Intelligence. And then, like that, we're already looking pretty good, okay? So, what we now want to do is go back, and in our background, we are going to go ahead and, I think the 2s, so 15, 16 in Con. I know it seems really weird, okay, hear me out. And then a +1 to the Charisma. You see, now Charisma is just a little bit better, but Con, Wisdom, and Dexterity, they're where they should be. They're good. So, we now go back to our class and start an ASI. ASI will be for Dex and then the Wiz. So, Dex and Wiz and Wiz. We can go ahead and take a what does durable do, I wonder? Bonus action, you can spend one of your hit dice. There we go. Fantastic. There's that little touch of healing that I wanted. Now, am I as powerful as I'd like to be? No. We can make up for that with magic items. Till then, there is the there's a race. I'm calling it a race. Let's see what there is, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so I was torn between Damphir and Dwarf. I have went with Dwarf. Here's basically the reasoning. I like the idea that the Damphir could walk up walls. However, as a monk, I can already do that. Meaning, the only other thing I was getting was the bite, which I can use proficiency bonus amount of times. But it's also only a D4. So the dwarf gets the +1 con. That's an additional 13 hit points. I also get to learn some languages. The Damphir did get an additional 5 foot. However, the resistance to poison, magic items are fun. So let's go here and start with our items of magic. So I know some of the items that I already want, and they are from, again, Fizzbands. Another one is actually from the Dungeon Master's Guide. It was initially from Bigby's, that or Book of Many Things, one of them. But it got reprinted in the Dungeon Master's Guide and slightly buffed. So, what we're going to do is we are actually going to start with the Wraps of Unarmed Power. I've been told that I can have anything very rare or below. Right, +2 is +3, homie. And given that we are +11? +11 puts me on par with a great many things. And it's a D10 +6 bludgeoning, but I get to pick whatever I want it to be. The next item I want is a belt. So, this is the Dragon Hide belt. Now, I'm going to push my luck on this one here. We're going to... Here we go. So, save is 8 plus Wiz plus Prof. So, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then proficiency here, I believe, is 4, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's 5. 16. So, if I can bring it on to an 18 with a +2. So, Dragon Hide Belt +2 requires attunement. Weird that the Wraps don't. So far, I feel I'm on par with like maybe a level 10. But... it is what it is, and that's okay. I need another good monk item, fun one, because so far this is just pure raw damage. Okay, now we can't really do too much with our AC, so we're going to get some bracers of defense, I think. So we'll throw these on. That just gives us a little bit more AC as well. It does give us an awful lot of 18s, I will admit. However, what you got to understand here is normally by this point a player would have a 20, and in having a 20 right now as a monk, you're probably putting that in your dex, and for 3 good reasons. 1, armor class. 2, initiative. 3, to hit. So +5 +5 would be +10, then magic items. I don't have such luxury. You know, I was thinking of maybe other magic items, but I just can't find any anymore. I don't want to seem too overpowered in a way. I don't know, that seems like rather weird. But like I have 133 hit points, 18 AC, 18 DC. I have a plus 11 to hit. I have a plus 3, a plus 2. Like if I had a plus 1, there's just no other plus 1? No. I don't think that stacks. No. Would it? I must consult the player's handbook. Or Reddit. Probably Reddit. Right. So, I had to check this one. And this is the fun one, really. So, the wraps of unarmed prowess, or unarmed power, take your choice, will stack with it will stack with an Eldritch Claw tattoo, which will also stack with a insignia of the claw if you have that campaign. I don't have that campaign. Because they do similar things, but they're not the same. Yes, they all give a +1 to unarmed attacks. One of them gives you the +1. One of them gives you the +1 and additional force. Another one is a +1, but then has an optional part to it where you can take a bonus action to make it do an additional d6. Eldritch Claw tattoo, and we are fully attuned. So, I'm going to get this sent off. For everybody that's been here, I'm going to say first and foremost, thank you for watching. Do like, do subscribe, do give me your comments below. And once the game goes live, I will let you know. We'll link off. Until then, yeah, you will search you.